Hey folks, Mike and McGee here. We had some success this afternoon, the early goose season in Tennessee. There was probably 30 of them that came. We got 2. Tennessee is trying to thin out some of the native, the ones that stay here, Canada geese. That's what we helped them do. Now in this video, I want to show you how to make epic, unbelievable Philly cheesesteak sandwiches with Canada geese. Let's get to the house and get into it. All right, it's time for me to get to cleaning these things. I'm not gonna clean these on camera. If you wanna see how I clean geese for this method, drop down in the comments and I'll show you exactly how I skin them. I don't wanna take a risk on this particular video of getting demonetized because this is gonna be a super amazing video. Okay, we're out of the field. This is just a normal day. The meat's been frozen for a couple weeks and it's time to make Philly cheese steak sandwiches. This video was inspired by Eric. He has a YouTube channel called 2 Guys in a Cooler, and buddy, that guy knows meat. I'm gonna use his recipe in a roundabout way. You know, me and recipes don't get along good. I just kind of throw stuff together. That means if you're gonna go by this recipe, you need to go by his recipe, not mine, because mine's gonna be confusing and haphazard and may not turn out as good as his. His turned out wonderful. What I learned from Eric, and by the way, you can find a link to his channel in the first head of the comments. He taught me something very important about tough meat and how to make a very tender Philly cheesesteak sandwich. The trick is baking soda. We want baking soda and water. We're going to mix it together, and what that is called velveting, and we're going to let the meat soak in it. So what you want to do is you want to freeze your goose breasts or your beef or whatever so you can slice it very thin. The thinner you slice it, the more tender it'll be. Goose breast it's just well known for being tough, okay? So get it sliced good and thin. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to dissolve your baking soda in water. Get that all dissolved. And then what you're going to do is pour that over your meat and make sure it all gets mixed in really well so that there's no meat that's not coated with this baking soda water. And that is going to just have a reaction with that meat and just, it's going to break it down. It's going to make it tender for you. Okay, while that soaks, and we're going to let that soak for just a few minutes, I'm going to get my onions cut up and get them in here because we want onions and bell peppers stir-fried for this sandwich. All right, I don't want to cook these too terribly hard, but I have a pretty good sized piece. My onions are in pretty good sized chunks, so I don't want them to be really tough to chew, so I'm going to cook them pretty good. One thing I know about Eric, 2 Guys in the Cooler channel, the guy, when you go over there and see him, you'll realize the guy is some kind of special when it comes to meat preparation. He was cooking for 200 sandwiches. That's how much he was preparing for, and I'm not even coming close to that. I'm just making a meal for my family, which is a wife and 5 kids, and sometimes Frank. But Eric is very precise, and if there's anything that you have learned about me through the few months you've been watching, I'm not all that precise. I throw stuff together and just kind of hope it comes out good, and amazingly it does a lot of the time. But I'm going to throw some Camp Dog seasoning in on this right quick. Camp Dog seasoning is a good old Cajun blend. It's not very salty, but my goodness, is it ever good. Old Papa Scott down there in Louisiana makes this, and I've got a deal for you. You can get 15% off. The link will be in the descriptions. Order some, use the promo code McGee, and you'll get 15% off, and buddy, is it ever good. All right, these are looking really close. I'm gonna just swap hands out here. This is the hot part of the stove right here. So this is where we do our cooking. That there, it'll just stay warm. All right, it's been sitting in here long enough. You can tell, you see the meat starting to separate. It's breaking that protein down, I guess. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna strain this out. We're gonna pour it off, then we're gonna wash it, and then we're gonna cook it. All right, we've got the meat washed as best as we could. It's still got a lot of moisture in it, which you will hear now. This is going to cook out. At this point, while it's cooking the moisture out, I'm going to lay some salt on it. And that's not coming out fast enough to suit me. And you want to mix that salt in really good to that meat. That's going to bring the flavor out. And then once you get that done, once you get that stirred in good, we're going to throw some more of our fabulous, wonderful Camp Dog seasoning in there. Should be about enough. Now we're going to stir all that in good. I put about 2 spoons of bacon grease in it. So that's going to cook and help it fry up. Stir fry that thing. Alright, we're going to let that cook and we're going to stir fry that. Okay, we have a bun here that is 4 Philly, I keep saying chili feast-steak, Philly cheesesteaks. I've got butter on this griddle. I'm just going to toast that right quick. I like toasted bread. While our meat's finishing up, our onions are done. We're going to put the onions in with the meat in just a minute. All right. Eric had a super way of doing his cheese. He made a cheese sauce. I don't have the ingredient that he had that made it into cheese sauce. So what I'm going to do is take this really finely grated Italian style cheese. And it's very finely shredded, so it's going to melt easily. I'm going to mix it into my meat now. So that it'll melt good, because when you're eating a Philly cheese, you want it to be meaty, but you want it to be cheesy. So let's get it cheesy. Okay, we're going to get in here and get this toast turned over, and we're going to go ahead and put some cheese on the bread so it can start melting into the bread before we put our meat and cheese on. Pull this out of the oven. Woo, does that ever smell good? We're going to throw these up here on this plate. Very, very tender feeling. Now, we're going to take some of this onion and some of this cheesy meat. We're going to lay it all over this bun. Woo! It's okay if some's falling off the edge. That's just that much more to eat later. Oh my. Oh my. I'm going to cut this in 3 pieces. We're going to feed this to the boys. All right, guys. Caleb, which one you want? Okay, get it. Matt, which one you want? You might want to eat over the plate. I don't know. You want that one? They left me with the middle piece. Woo! What I want to know, is it tender? Is it good? All cheesy. Cheesy and onion. The goose actually tastes like beef in a very large way. Folks, you want to eat it hot. Eat it while it's hot. A cheesesteak that's not tender is not a good Philly cheesesteak. It's got to be tender. What do you think?
It's good.
Canada Goose has never been the same. We're speechless, folks. It's really that good. I usually don't like to eat in front of the camera that much. This is so good I can't help it. Meat, cheese, onions, and good old Camp Dog seasoning. You just absolutely can't beat it. Get over there, check out Two Guys in the Cooler. Get online, buy yourself some Camp Dog seasoning. You will not regret that decision. But that's all we've got for you today. We're going to have to get on out of here. I got more people to feed. We appreciate you so much. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Flavor to savor.
The flavor to savor.
Hey, Frank, that's the bottom. Turn it over.
Turn it over.
Yeah, 'cause that's the bottom.
That ain't the bottom.
That's the top.
What is the top? It didn't matter, did it? Anywhere you go, it's there. Now.
Hey, Lordy. Is that good?
You been mean. It's still people looking.